probably hard to see during the day. There's like flames coming out of the pipes with the smoke. So that's the effect I made for this engine. You know, I had to close off these pipes anyway on this side. So I used the LEDs as well, you know, to give it a nice effect for the exhaust, and as well closed all these holes off. And there is another thing I wanted to show you. If you, let's say, I'm just going to take the Dim in front. Let's say, like on the display, if you turn on this one, you will see a light coming on as well. The same with the ignition switch and with these switches. It's actually very easy to install a LED, an LED, and I just got to draw an example of how you can do that. So this is, let's say, a 3mm LED or a 5mm LED, should say. And the long pin is the plus, the short pin is the minus, as you can see here. And I'm just going to show you the schedule. So we got 12 volt, we got the switch, the same switch of the other scheme. You turn it on and it gives a plus to the LED, to the long pin. And the minus of this LED, because they only use like up to 3 volts they can handle, and otherwise they burn, you know, so there will be defect. So you use a resistor, and the value of the resistor is about 1000 ohm, you know, and if you use more ohms, like up to 2000 ohm, it will be less bright. But between, like, let's say 680 and 1000 ohm, you know, you will be good. I'm just going to show you some resistors, if you don't know what they are, but they're these little things, and you got them all in different values. So it's always handy to buy a set of these resistors, and you know, it's also good to be in the low values, let's say from 10 ohm up to 3000 ohm or something like that. You know, there are these sets and they're not expensive at all, and then you get, let's say, a bunch of these, and it's on there how many ohms they are. So this is about 70, oh no, 570, oh no, 370, I can read it, hope you can as well. And you know, so you got a whole bunch of those, so you can try them out, which value for the needle of the gauges. As well, for the electronic controller, for those who are wondering what kind of controller this is a Parma Turbo slot card controller, and you will find them online, and it's a very nice, you know, it has a very nice base to build in the little throttle signal generator, just like this, you know, and to build in this stationary bolt that will move a little bit of the throttle, so that the engine will run as well on the stationary sound. Well, as well, if you ever want to change the motor, you know, the starter motor, it has of course a model type, and then you got them in different voltage and different RPMs. But as you can see here, oh, I hope you can read it, yeah, I ordered these, the 25GA/370. So then you get a model like this, and that will fit into the starter motor. Sometimes they are a little bit longer or shorter. Mine was a little bit shorter than the original one, so maybe it should be the 25GA, you know, it could be, but this one fits as well. It's just a couple of millimeters shorter, but you connect it anyway to these, you know, 2 bolts in the housing, so it's, you know, it's very yeah, well placed in the starter housing. So that's another tip. And instead of a slot car controller, you know, with the throttle signal generator in there, you can also use these things. But the problem with these things is, like, if you have it on this position, is full throttle going backwards, then the middle is the neutral, and then you have your throttle up and down, you know. So you can use these as well, but you know, it's different than when you make the little signal generator into a slot car controller. I'm just going to show you an idea you can have if you want to build your engine onto a box. I'm going to move the camera a little bit, just zoom it out, you know. So I placed the engine on the box because, you know, I wanted to have a speaker box for the ES1 to have you know, a more fuller or a full sound. And you can very nicely, you know, build in all the switches and the electronics and attach things, and, you know, build in gauges. So they're very nice boxes, and you know, you got them in different versions from Logitech. You will sometimes find them second-hand, you know, between 10 euros and 20 euros, or 10 and 20 euros dollars. So they're very easy. You can, you know, make these nice, give it some nice stands or knobs like these things to get it off the ground. And then you have got a very nice surface to put your engine on it. So this is about the same size, I mean the same size, a good size for the engine. And then you could build in some switches or gauges. Very handy. And you got them in different sizes from Logitech. Like, I'll show you another one. This is almost similar as the other one. A little bit different finish. But this is the S220. It's a black speaker. You know, you take out the electronics and you only use the speaker. As well, got another one here as well. It's more like a square box. As you can see, I don't know which model this one is, but it doesn't have a cover for the speaker, but it's okay if you just, you know, sit it down like that. And as well, your engine can nicely fit on here, and you can also build in the switches and the gauges, or the ES1, you know, to the back. So if you got a speaker case like this of a 2.1 speaker set for a PC or a laptop or whatever, you can use them. Take the electronics out, use the speaker, and you got a very nice case to build your engine on. Well, just wanted to show you one more thing for the exhaust. Just going to show you in the book. As you will see here, you have these pipes. That's the place where I, you know, build in these little nipples, or drill a little hole in there of about 2.5 millimeter to place a 3 millimeter nipple in there. But, you know, the most, I just wanted to say, the handiest thing to make the exhaust is to heat these pipes, you know, using some pliers, of course, because otherwise you will burn your fingers. Make them red hot, so they have this nice tincture or glow on the pipes. After that, install them, you know, on the cylinder head. And actually, because I got them, you know, downwards, then you turn over the cylinder head with all the pipes attached to it on the position how you want them to have them, you know, to look like. And then you make flat spots just right there where you need to drill the hole, because otherwise your drill will just slide off, you know, to the left or the right or whatever. So you make just a flat spot, you know, with a file or with your Dremel, and then you drill these holes. You put these nipples in and attach the hoses. And of course it's going to be very tight underneath all these pipes. Just going to zoom in a little bit. As you can see, adjust the camera a little bit. Oh, maybe I should go down a little bit so you can see the nipples. Just hold on, sorry for the movement. Maybe just better like this. Yeah, so here you can see these nipples. Just going to show you. Here's one, there's one. Of course in between here is one as well. There's one, here's one, there's one, in between. So you got all these nipples right in there. No, the camera isn't focusing, but you will get the idea. And attach these hoses, you know, underneath the nipples. And of course, if you got these nipples, you will see here. Just going to zoom out a little. Here you have these 3mm nipples. You know, and sometimes when you drill these holes in these pipes, it's very thin metal. You will end up with a wider hole, but then you can use a 4mm nipple. So it's always easy to have two sizes, as you can see. And what I cut off the top nut of this nipple to get a smaller nipple like this. Hope you can see it. As you can see, I put those two together. So you get this, and then you attach the hose to it. Hope you can see it. You'll get the